All right, let's do it.
Okay.
All right, call the meeting to order and start off with a roll call.
Are we rolling, Mark? All right, thanks. Chair Works,
Here.
Vice Chair Yant,
Here.
Tony Bevel is absent, Dorian Leibel,
Here.
Ruth Ann Resnack is absent, Mike Smith,
Here.
Chris West.
Here.
All right, very good, thank you.
Thanks. All right, so we'll move on to the minutes. Does anybody have any corrections to the minutes?
They were good for me, so I'll move that we approve the minutes.
I'll second that.
Okay. See, nobody's got any comments. We'll take a vote. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right. We'll move on to business. So we got to revote on chair and vice chair again.
So I have a question. Jason and Tiffany, are you up for another round? Tiffany, you only had part of it, so.
Yeah.
I'm willing to, but I'm more than happy to let somebody else that wants an opportunity to have an opportunity.
Hearing none, I move that I'm nominating both Jason and Tiffany for another term.
If they have no objections, I would definitely second that.
I'm not going to object.
That was your only chance, Jason.
I know. Okay, well, I guess I have to tell us to vote for it. All right. So, all in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed. None. Okay. Thanks, Chris.
Sure. And I got one more meeting and then I'm gone. Or at least I think I am.
Okay, so we can move on to the traffic safety education options. Is this something you want to start out on, Captain, or is this just an open discussion item?
I believe it's just an open discussion.
So I think I was thinking, I can't remember when this thought came in my head, but I was thinking that, that was one of our objectives, was the education piece of it. So I thought it might be worthwhile, I guess it's just about been a year since we started doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Might be a good opportunity just to revisit it and see if anybody has any ideas. I know we did the Dorian, we did kind of like a yard sign thing in the beat right when we got started. There was a yard sign campaign that just kind of advertised traffic safety commission or committee and encourage people to slow down and watch for pedestrians. But that's kind of the only thing we've really done on the education side. There are some other ideas that were tossed out, some training sessions with a professor from Portland, but because of COVID, we postponed those. So I don't know if anybody has any ideas or thoughts on ways that we can further our mission to educate. Chris, you look like you got something there.
Well, one of the questions I have for either the captain or the chief is, what's the word about us being able to, the city have actual meetings with public meetings? And I know we're talking about that with Dr. Taka, however you say his last name, as being one of the things. But, you know, some of the other things that we may want to consider probably would be best served in person type things. So what's the word, what's the city thinking about being able to do community meetings, event type stuff?
As far as I know right now, they're talking about the process of reopening the city, which would mean having live meetings again. But at this point, we're still obviously still doing remote, and there's no set date when they're going to be going back to in-person meetings. But there is some discussion about how to do that once things start opening up again. Vague answer, but that's the best I can do right now.
Mike?
I just got the newspaper the other day and saw that Cruise in Sherwood and the Robinhood Festival are both on tap to go. Would there be any benefit to having a booth at those, an informational booth at those events?
I think it's a good idea. If somebody wants to volunteer to man it.
Well,
I don't know the process of how that works. I don't even know if you could get in. I guess I think it's a good idea. I don't know how that works though.
So for the Robinhood Festival, at least, we usually take our command trailer down there, and we have volunteers out there. I'm sure we can put another table out by our command trailer that you can man. One thing to think about though is if you're going to have a booth, what are you going to be handing out or talking about?
and that's what I was thinking, Captain, was that we could have some manning at the command trailer and just have the complaint forms there, and maybe just a little summary of the committee. Maybe even just do that as a combo. It wouldn't cost much to put that together, and I think that would help, besides the little bit that's been done on social media about the committee. Because when I look at what we're going to talk about here in a minute, the report to council, you know, 17 requests over 12 months isn't that many, with as much chatter as the council and the police advisory board was hearing and why this committee was created. So not that I don't think we were loaded up once we really got going. I think that there's an opportunity to just refresh people's memories that we've got this committee and they can send stuff through, and it makes sense, like I said, to be at the command trailer.
And I would agree. I think definitely the complaint forms available, a little synopsis of what the committee is about and what the process is. And I don't know, do we have any of the signs left over, or were those all given out? If we've got some left over, they're great giveaways.
Yeah, we have a bunch left over.
Perfect. And I would happily sign up for a shift on the booth. God knows I've stood enough hours in convention booths during my career, so a few more hours won't hurt me.
Dorian? Yeah.
I don't know. how appropriate it would be, but maybe we could also just put the word out on the Sherwood community Facebook page. That one's a very active page. Hundreds and hundreds of people are on there all the time, and maybe if we had a link to the complaint form on there, then that would get it sort of more in people's minds as well. And if they have things they want to talk about, then they could use that as just another easy tool.
Yeah, that's good. When is the Robinhood Festival?
September 24th and 5th, Friday and Saturday.
And Captain, do you recall the cruising dates?
I knew you were going to ask me that.
Sorry.
I believe it's towards the end of August. I can get you those dates and send them to you.
It's August 28th, the Saturday.
All right.
So I like using social media. My only concern about that community page is that people get spun up and go down rabbit holes a lot. Like somebody just the other night posted that Walmart was having people wear masks again, and oh my gosh. And so I think maybe let's try first with just the city web page or Facebook post, and because Dorian, I can see people complaining about our decisions and complaining about coyotes running across the road and they needing traffic safety for them. So
Yeah.
anyway, I'm a strong believer in social media, but I'm not sure that it would be healthy for our committee to post something on that page.
Yeah, we might go from 17 in 12 months to 1,700 in 1 month.
Yeah, and all of them asking for your address, Dorian.
All right. Well, let's track this. I don't know that there's a whole lot of prep work that would need to be done ahead of that, but one of the upcoming meetings we can talk about a little bit further. And sounds like we got a few months, and everybody's schedules may change slightly between now and then. So as far as like trying to pick times that people could be there and stuff, if you guys are all right with that, we could talk about it again in maybe like July or something.
One other thought I had, and I kind of remember the PD doing something around bike helmets and stuff in the years past. And with this agenda item, I was thinking with all the kids that are out and about that have been cooped up and they're on bikes and other wheeled things, that maybe doing some kind of post, or if there's some kind of event, if we could maybe get donated helmets. I don't know, Captain. I just remember something that the PD did years ago that was really good community relations, and I think it would bode well for tagging this traffic safety committee too if we helped with something like that.
Yeah, we had a bunch of bike helmets donated. It was quite a few years ago, and we actually still have probably, maybe a half dozen left over still that we give out occasionally when needed. And we used to help out with the bike rodeos, but in the last year or so, obviously those have been stopped. So, and I'm not quite sure if we're going to be doing those again this summer. It just depends how quickly everything opens up.
All right. Well, anything else? Anybody has ideas or suggestions? All right. Well, let's move on to the next one then. So we got the review and approval of the quarterly report format for the city council.
I thought it looked good. So the only question I had was it going to be updated with the couple things that we decided? Because I'm looking at 2021 003. We closed that one last, and it's on this draft report. Still shows it's pending. So
Yeah, this is Angie. Yeah, we'll update everything before it's presented to city council. This is just more to see if you guys approved of the format, if you had any suggestions for changes to it or additions or anything.
I'm curious how you think it will be received. Do you think that when counselors look at this, if they're going to see all of these and have, is it going to like stir up conversation about specific items? I guess, is there too much information that would kind of lead down that path? Or do you think there's sufficient information, and then if people have questions, then, that'd be like an offline conversation? I don't know the council well enough to know how they would receive it.
I can tell you that they are aware of some of the more hot areas in the city, such as the Lad Hill, Sunset, now those things. So most of these are probably aware of. They get emails too, and they have citizens talk to them about hotspots in the city. So maybe some of these are new to them, but I think the main ones they're already aware of.
the only recommendation I thought in that opening paragraph is down a ways when we talk about requests carrying over to future meetings. I think it's important that we identify that both the PD and engineering usually have do an assessment or review, and that's what helps us make decisions. There's some of that buried in each of the issues, but I think would be good to call out the resources that we're relying on in both the PD and the city engineer.
Yeah, we could add that.
Well, I think it looks good. Do you want us to approve this?
Yes, please.
All right. We need a motion.
Anyone? Don't be shy.
Okay, I'll move. Move that we approve with the one change addition.
A second.
All right. Any discussion? All right. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
And all opposed, say no. All right. So now move on to issues and complaints. And start out with the tracking sheet. I guess, does anybody have anything in particular that's not in the list? I think everything that's on the list there below is all the pending items. Other than those, does anybody have anything they wanted to talk through?
We didn't get anything new that came in this time, Angie?
We did get a couple, but we received them after we've already had the packet together. So there will be some new ones for next month.
Ah, cool.
All right, so the next 4 items there are updates. So I'm assuming some of them there's not an update yet. But if, I don't know, Captain, if you want to, I guess you can take over whichever ones you guys have updates on, and we can talk through those.
All right, so 2020-009, Public Works has ordered the signs and marking material. They stated that progress should be made with the signage and markings this month. The truncated domes are going to take a little longer to get installed, and they will let me know when that is complete. But if you drive through there, you can see that the street has already been marked. So hopefully maybe next month the domes will be complete. Any questions on that one?
Oh, that sounds good.
And the other one is number 5, 2021-002. So that's the Sherwood Boulevard speed zone signs. They came, it's a little problematic, I guess you could say. They went and measured the 200 feet to 400 feet area there, and the flashing sign would end up being put in a property owner's yard. So they're kind of working around that, since that signage has a big concrete base. So it's going to hopefully not cause too big of an issue if they decide to put it there, but there's going to be a big sign in someone's yard. So they're kind of working around that issue. The stop light school crossing there in front of the new admin building is between 50 and 100 feet from the school zone or the school boundary. So technically there's really nothing we need to do about that, since it's within the ORS to leave it there. So I believe that's what they're going to do. Also, they're going to have to prune some of the trees and shrubbage back for the new signage. So that's where we are with that. Then with 2020-12, that's Public Works, and I don't really have an update on that one. I don't know if Bob's on yet.
I'm not seeing Bob here.
Yeah, there's another meeting going on tonight, so he might be on at that one. And same with 2021-01, the data collection off of Lad Hill. I'm not sure where the status is on that one either.
Okay, sounds good. I remembered another one that I wanted to ask about. That was a long time ago. There was a request for crosswalk at Meineke by 99. And this is ODOT's, it's an ODOT jurisdiction, and the decision was just that the staff would forward a request onto the state. I was just curious if anything ever came of that. I don't drive that way very often, so I haven't seen if anything had ever been done, but that was back in October.
Yeah. So with that new dental, there's a new dental office going in there at the corner, and part of that dental office is to do some road improvements in that turn lane there to turn from 99, northbound onto Meineke. So they've been working on that expansion there and a sidewalk. So I don't think they've done anything with the actual area that was the concern, but I think once that new turn lane is all finished and complete, that might fix some of the side issues that were there in the beginning.
But that's a good point. I hadn't thought about that. They were doing some work there. I had seen that. All right. Anybody have any questions or anything they want to talk through on any of these specific items? All right. Well, we have a new agenda item here that I think is going to be there all the time, which is committee comments. This is your chance to have the floor if you so choose. Anybody have any non-agenda items, things they wanted to talk about or share? All right. Well, I think this is a record meeting time.
I'm shocked. We rarely see Chris so silent, but that was okay.
He's muted. That's why he's quiet.
I do have a question for the captain. Given a 3-day holiday, are you going to have extra patrols like we've had on other holidays going out to help people maintain proper driving stuff?
We actually do. We have some extra patrols out there starting tomorrow night and Saturday night.
Is this regular funding, or do we have some extra funding coming in like we have in the past?
This is through ODOT traffic grant overtime.
Cool. See, Mike, I didn't disappoint.
I expected no less, Chris.
All right. Well, with that, we'll adjourn the meeting. Thank you, everybody. Sorry.
Thanks for coming, Ruth.